Karibu tena. Waziri wa usalama Profesa Kithure Kindiki hivi sasa anajibu maswali kuhusu hali ya usalama katika eneo pana la kaskazini mwa bonde la Ufa na kueleza jinsi alivyofikia maeneo ambapo operesheni maliza uhalifu inaendelea kutekelezwa. Aidha, Kindiki anaelezea juhudi za amani maeneo hayo, kutumwa kwa maafisa wa akiba na kurejeshwa kwa mifugo walioibwa, pamoja pia na hali ya utovu wa usalama katika eneo la Sondu. Hebu tusikize.
Investigations into all reported cases of missing persons. 3, police are working closely with members of the public to engage reporting of missing persons in time. In other words, we are investing in better police-public relationship as the solution to ensuring that cases like this are investigated and culprits are arrested, because the public holds the key to successful investigations and arrests. D, sensitizing communities on the importance of sharing intelligence and prompt reporting whenever there is an incident. Number 5, we have revitalized community policing, a Nyumba Kumi initiative in the area in order to enhance information sharing. And finally, members of the public are continuously being sensitized to be sensitive to security. We must sensitize our members to be conscious of their own security, not to go to places unless they are sure about the environment, and to report suspicious persons likely to be criminals. I submit, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable CS. Senator Murango, you have any supplementary question? Give him the microphone, clerk. Thank you.
Asante tena Mstahiki Speaker, kwa maswali ya ziada tauliza maswali mawili tu. Waziri, mnamo mwezi wa Februari mwaka huu kuna ndugu wawili ambao waliuliwa na ukaleta taarifa katika hili bunge. Ndugu wawili waliouliwa kinyama pale, na kutoka wakati huo hatujasikia kulifanyika vipi. Kwa hivyo swali langu ni, je, wale watu wanaouliwa, ndugu Harisa, ndugu Andamu waliouliwa, uchunguzi umefika wapi? Kwa sababu hatujasikia toka Februari mambo inafanyika. Na swali langu lingine la mwisho, kwa sababu sitaki kukuambia mambo ya wizi wa ng'ombe ambao unaendelea Kirinyaga. Kuna jambo lilifanyika kule Kirinyaga kuhusu kiongozi mwanamke wa bunge la kaunti la Kirinyaga ambao alishambuliwa na watu wanaojulikana, wengine ni wafanyikazi katika kaunti ya Kirinyaga kama polisi wa manispaa. Lakini toka siku hiyo wale watu bado wanarandaranda kule, wanakenjeri viongozi kule. Katika uchunguzi wa yale maneno, kwa sababu ni mambo ya aibu, umefika wapi na tunatarajia lini kwamba hatua itachukuliwa kwa wale watu? Asante sana Mr. Speaker.
Honorable CS, could you respond to the supplementary questions?
Mr. Speaker, sir, in response to the supplementary questions by Senator Murango, I would like to request for 7 days to file a written response, one on the status of investigations on the two brothers that the Honorable is Murango is pursuing. I would plead that that request be made in writing, so that the names of the deceased, so that I can give a status report in 7 days. Number 2, also with regard to the attack on the women rep for Kirinyaga, I will also plead for time to file a written response to the Senate within 7 days.
Thank you, Honorable CS. Senator Dulo, you had requested to have a supplementary question. I want to ask you to proceed and ask the CS.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I'll ask quick questions since I had requested earlier on the 3 questions, which will be very fast. Number 1, CS, congratulations for the good job. I know you are up to task. We've served in this house together twice. You are up to task. So, Mr. Speaker, what I wanted to ask, number 1, on the recruitment of NPR. And again, Mr. Speaker, on the recruitment of chiefs. Mr. Speaker, and I know the PS is aware, there is too much politics around the recruitment of chiefs and also NPR within the counties. Is there a way the CS can work it out, that the recruitment of NPR and chiefs are done in a transparent manner so that everybody can see the process is very transparent without politics? And actually the people who are causing problem in these two processes are politicians, so that politicians are locked out completely and the process is transparent and members of public are satisfied with the whole process. That is number one. I know you are smiling, you should be able to work out a strategy on that. Finally, Mr. Speaker, it's the issue of police who have overstayed in hardship areas. I know I've been in security sometimes back, and the policy has been, once you have served in a hardship area for 5 years, you are removed to go to other areas. But it has, these days, police officers take even more than 10 years to stay in a hardship area. Until they have familiarized themselves with the community, and the work they are doing, they are not even taking it seriously. So can the CS implement the policy on the 5-year rule so that the police officers in hardship areas, they are actually transferred to other areas and others are posted to those areas? I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much, Senator Dulo. Honorable CS, could you respond to those questions?
Mr. Speaker, sir, it is true that is a policy on how long an officer should stay in one's position, in one station. But for a long time, that policy has not been implemented. It has now been decided that going forward, no officer who has served for more than 3 years should remain in the station they are serving. The signal went out 2 weeks ago, the day when the task force on police reforms presented their progress report to the president. And now it's part of the policy reforms that we have initiated, and we are expecting, we have given the police command a maximum of 60 days to make sure that all officers countrywide who have stayed for more than 3 years, not 5, must be transferred. Number two, on the question of involvement of politicians in the appointment of chiefs and assistant chiefs, I agree. And I hope that the proposal by Senator Dulo is in sync with the proposal by the chairman of the Senate Security Committee, because the senator for Baringo, who is the chair of the Security Committee, recommended that there is need for public involvement, public participation in hiring of chiefs. But I don't think public involvement means involvement or meddling by politicians. It just means that the politicians, like everybody else, can also give their views, but the decision remains the decision of government. And I know what the Senator Dulo is pursuing is the actual meddling, where a politician wants to decide who becomes a chief. That is wrong. What we should encourage is public participation, including the participation of leaders, because they also have views, but the decision should perhaps involve more people. So those are some of the policy proposals that we are willing to look at. But on the 3-year transfer is mandatory. In fact, the directive by the government is that any officer after the 60 days who continues to resist or for whatever reason does not move to a new station, the salary will be stopped. It is that serious. And for those doing sensitive operations, normally we move them after 1 year, because the kinetic work and operations they engage in are extremely demanding. After 1 year, we rotate them so that they serve, even if it's within the same sensitive operations, but in a different station every year. But for general police duties, 3 years you must move. If you don't move, we'll stop your salary.
Thank you very much, Honorable CS, for those responses. Honorable members, we will defer question number 11 and number 12 in the absence of Senator Kinyua. Similarly, we're going to defer question number 45 in the absence of Senator Lomenen, and I will ask Senator Kithure to proceed to ask question number 54. Question number 54, Senator Kithure, proceed.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I would start with the question number 54A. How many individuals have lost their lives as a result of terrorism attack in Kenya since the tragic bombing of American embassy in Nairobi by Al-Qaeda terrorists in 1998? Question B, Honorable Speaker, what measures has the government put in place to boost counter-terrorism efforts and safeguard the lives and property of Kenyan citizens? Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Kithure. Waziri, proceed to respond to the question by this Senator.
Mr. Speaker, sir, in response to question number 54 by the Senator for Marsabit, I would like to inform the House that the 1998 bombing of the Embassy of the United States of America in Nairobi which occurred on 7th of August 1998 around 11 a.m. resulted in the death of 213 Kenyans and 12 citizens of the United States of America. About 4,500 other persons were injured in various degrees. Our police agencies, the DCI, together with international agencies and American security agencies, have been involved in investigations, in the consequence of which arrest of several suspects have been done in Kenya, while arrests have also been done outside Kenya. One of the main suspects was Harun Fazul, who has never been arrested. The investigations reveal that this attack was perpetrated by Al-Qaeda, a group calling itself Al-Qaeda, and the planning was done in Khartoum, Sudan. The main planner in the attack was Mr. Harun Fazul, a citizen of the Republic of the Comoros, who had obtained a Kenyan national identification card fraudulently, and his acquisition of the Kenyan ID had been facilitated by government officials who were later charged in court. Mr. Speaker, sir, on the morning of the attack, Harun Fazul, together with others, drove a vehicle-borne improvised explosive device, IED into the US Embassy, causing the above named or mentioned fatalities and serious infrastructural damages. The motive of the attack was to hurt American interests in the region, as they also attacked the American embassy in Dar es Salaam, Tanzania. It was orchestrated by Al-Qaeda terrorist organization led by Mr. Osama bin Laden, who is now dead. Mr. Speaker, sir, since 1998, US Embassy attack, approximately 500 lives have been lost through terror attack in the country. This includes the 213 fatalities of the 1998 attack, 201 Kenyans and 12 Americans, 67 people who died at the attack at Westgate Mall in 2014, the Garissa University attack in 2015 that led to the death of 148 persons, the Dusit attack in 2019 in Nairobi that led to the death of 21 civilians and 5 attackers, or 5 suicide bombers. And then the other numbers is a collection of the various civilians and members of the National Police Service and the Kenya Defense Forces who have died as a result of IED attacks in the war against terror in northeastern Kenya and Lamu County. Honorable Speaker, the following measures have been put in place to boost counter-terrorism efforts and safeguard the lives and property of the people of Kenya. First, the government has set up the Anti-Terrorism Police Unit, ATPU, which continues to do a fantastic job in thwarting the threats of terror on a continuous basis. The government has also established the National Center, the National Counter-Terrorism Center, to deal with research and also identification of terror threats, and also to deal with radicalization and countering radicalization, which is the main recipe for terrorists and the breeding of terror. We also have set in place a joint terrorism task force. Likewise, Kenya has a very robust financial reporting center whose mandate, among other things, is to track inflows and outflows of financial resources into our financial system. And occasionally, this financial reporting center has helped us to detect finances destined to the financing of terrorism, and we've been able to apprehend those resources.